The bicycle lesson. The afternoon sun streamed through the open garage door of Martinez Auto Repair, casting long shadows across the concrete floor. Tommy Martinez wiped his hands on a grease-stained rag as he finished adjusting the carburetor on Mrs. Henderson's old sedan. At 28, he had been running his father's garage for 3 years now, ever since the older man retired to Florida. The garage sat on the corner of Maple Street in the quiet suburb of Millfield, surrounded by tree-lined neighborhoods where children played in front yards and neighbors still waved to each other. Tommy had grown up in this community, and he knew most of the families by name. His reputation for honest work and fair prices had kept the small business thriving. Even as chain repair shops opened nearby, a gentle breeze carried the scent of blooming lilacs through the garage as Tommy organized his tools. The radio played softly in the background, mixing classic rock with the distant sounds of suburban life, lawnmowers humming, dogs barking and children laughing in nearby yards. That peaceful afternoon was interrupted by the sound of small footsteps approaching. Tommy looked up to see a little girl with curly blonde hair walking slowly toward his garage. She was maybe 6 or 7 years old, wearing a gray t-shirt and jeans, with tears streaming down her cheeks. Behind her she dragged a bright blue bicycle that was clearly too big for her small frame. "Excuse me, mister," the little girl said in a small voice. "My bike is broken, and I don't know how to fix it." Tommy immediately set down his wrench and knelt to the child's level. "Hey there, sweetheart. What's your name?" "Emma," she sniffled. "Emma Rodriguez. I was trying to ride my new bike, but the chain fell off, and now it won't work anymore." Tommy glanced at the bicycle and quickly identified the problem. The chain had simply slipped off the gears, a common issue that was easy to fix but could seem overwhelming to a young child. "Well, Emma Rodriguez, I think I can help you with that," Tommy said with a warm smile. "But first let me ask you something. Would you like to learn how to fix it yourself? That way, if it happens again, you'll know exactly what to do." Emma's eyes widened with interest, and she nodded eagerly. "Really, you'd teach me?" "Absolutely," Tommy replied. "Learning to fix things is one of the most useful skills you can have. Plus, it's your bike, so you should know how it works." Tommy carefully lifted the bicycle and positioned it so Emma could see the chain and gears clearly. He explained each part in simple terms, pointing to the different components and describing their functions. "See, Emma, a bicycle is like a team of parts working together. The chain is like a messenger that carries power from the pedals to the back wheel. Sometimes the messenger gets confused and takes a wrong turn." Emma giggled at the explanation, her tears now forgotten as she focused on learning. "First thing, what we need to do is make sure our hands are clean," Tommy said, walking over to a small sink in the corner of the garage. "Working on mechanical things can be messy, but we always want to start with clean hands." They washed their hands together, and Tommy gave Emma a pair of small work gloves that he kept for detail work. She put them on proudly, feeling like a real mechanic. "Now, the secret to putting a chain back on is to be gentle and patient," Tommy explained as he guided Emma's small hands to the bicycle. "We're going to lift the chain and place it back on the gear teeth, but we have to do it slowly, step by step." Tommy showed Emma how to position the chain properly. He let her do most of the work, only helping when her small fingers needed extra strength. As they worked together, Emma asked questions about how bicycles worked, and Tommy patiently answered each one. "Why does the chain need oil?" Emma asked as Tommy showed her the small bottle of chain lubricant. "Great question," Tommy replied. "Think of it like this. When you go down a slide at the playground, it's easier when the slide is smooth, right? The oil keeps all the moving parts smooth so they don't fight against each other." As they finished repairing the bicycle, Emma's confidence grew visibly. She carefully applied a small amount of oil to the chain under Tommy's guidance. And when they tested the pedals, everything worked perfectly. "I did it," Emma exclaimed, her face beaming with pride. "I actually fixed my bike." "You sure did," Tommy said, genuinely impressed by her enthusiasm and quick learning. "You're a natural mechanic, Emma Rodriguez." From across the street, neither Tommy nor Emma noticed the woman in the elegant beige coat who had been watching the entire interaction. She stood partially hidden behind a large oak tree, observing with growing amazement as the kind mechanic patiently taught her daughter's skills that no expensive private school had ever offered. Sarah Williams had been looking for Emma for the past 20 minutes. Her daughter had wandered away from their new house just 2 blocks away while Sarah was on an important conference call with her company's board of directors. As the CEO of Williams Industries, Sarah was used to managing complex business situations, but chasing after an adventurous 6-year-old was an entirely different challenge. When Sarah had finally spotted Emma entering the garage, her first instinct was to rush over and retrieve her daughter immediately, but something made her pause. The gentle way the mechanic spoke to Emma, his patience in explaining everything, and his genuine care for her daughter's learning experience touched something deep in Sarah's heart. Sarah had built her business empire by being decisive and direct, but she had often worried that Emma was growing up too isolated from real-world experiences. The private tutors and exclusive activities were excellent, but they couldn't provide the kind of authentic human connection she was witnessing right Now daughters Tommy and Emma finished their work, Sarah finally approached the garage. Emma looked up and saw her mother, running over with excitement. "Mummy, Mummy, look what I learned. Mr. Tommy taught me how to fix my bicycle all by myself." Sarah smiled at her daughter's enthusiasm, then looked up at Tommy. "I'm Sarah Williams, Emma's mother. I've been watching from across the street, and I have to say, I'm incredibly impressed." Tommy stood up, suddenly feeling self-conscious about his grease-stained clothes and the modest garage setting. "Oh, hello, Mrs. Williams. Emma is a wonderful little girl. She was very brave about learning something new." "Please, call me Sarah," she said warmly. "And I have to ask, do you have any experience teaching? Because what I just witnessed was better than any educational program Emma has ever been in." Tommy shook his head. "No formal teaching experience. I just believe kids learn best when you treat them with respect and give them hands-on experience." Sarah paused, considering her words carefully. "Tommy, I run a company called Williams Industries. We've been looking for someone to develop educational programs that teach practical life skills to children. What you just did with Emma, that patience, that ability to make complex concepts simple, that's exactly what we need." Over the following weeks, Tommy began working with Williams Industries to create workshops that taught children basic mechanical skills, problem solving, and the confidence that comes from learning to fix things with their own hands. His garage became the prototype for a program that would eventually reach thousands of children. Emma became his first regular student, visiting the garage every Saturday to learn new skills. And Sarah discovered that the most valuable lesson wasn't just what Emma was learning about bicycles and tools, it was about the importance of kindness, patience, and taking time to really listen to a child. Sometimes the most important connections that happen in the most ordinary moments, when someone takes the time to teach not just skills, but confidence and joy in learning itself.